Hi, I'm Tim Lerch, and today I'm going to look at a Ted Greene comping page that's going to be released for the September newsletter at tedgreene.com. There are actually two pages, but I'm going to look just at one because the two pages are very similar and they're identical actually, except for the fingerings used. So if you get both pages, you can use this video as a guide to work your way through them. I'm going to deal with the page that says Moonglow comping on the top and middle 4-string sets. And then it's in the key of G. The links are below in the description. The other page is all the voicings are on the middle set, so it goes quite high up. And that's really the only difference. There are one or two chords that are different as well. But this page should be enough for you to have a sense of how to look at both pages. These comping pages are great because they have wonderful chord combinations. So you're learning your inversions and various kind of rootless chords, but not in isolation. You're not learning them one at a time. You're learning them in passages. So it really helps. I've learned really a lot from working on these comping pages. And there are a lot of them too. So if you like this one, you should go to tedgreene.com and check out the comping section because there's a lot of great ones in there. So let's look at this Moonglow. Moonglow is a nice tune. This one's in the key of G and it starts on the 4 chord. And just so you're familiar, I would recommend learning the song, learning the melody to the song so you can follow along with the melody as you're playing these chords. But it's kind of like, it goes kind of like this. Boom, ba, bo, doo, be, bo, do. Boom, boo, ba, doo, dum. Boom, boo, ba, doo, dee, do, do. Boo, doo, 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 doo. That's my version. Anyway, of course, I was using just my regular vocabulary of chords so you could hear the bass line or the bass notes coming and going. I'm going to play through this comping page now in 8-bar sections. Keep it short so that you don't get overwhelmed and you can follow along pretty easily. It also protects me from getting all the way through and then screwing up the last chord or something like that. So anyway, here we go. Challenge levels around medium, I would say, unless you just haven't seen these chords before. I'll play through the first 8 and we'll talk about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couple of things that were going on. I'm using a tip double stop on the first chord and then a number of chords along the way. It's a very handy technique. I'm playing 2 notes with the tip of this finger. And it really helps when you get up a little higher. So we have 2 C6s, 2 C minor 6s. Now the minor 6 chords are very handy because they have a lot of other uses as well. You might notice that the C6 chord looks like A minor 7. Of course it is. And then these C minor 6 chords look like A minor 7 flat 5. And they also look like F9, both without roots. And then, the C6 got a root. A minor 7 flat 5's got a root as well. Then G6 looks like it could be also E minor 7, which it is. And then he calls this A7/6 rather than A13. Conventionally, we'd see this these days. People call that A13, but especially in those days, Ted was very meticulous, and it doesn't have a 9 in it, so he calls it A7/6 rather than A13. And then here's A9. Notice it's like A7 with the root moved up to the 9, so there's no A in it, but it's a rootless A9. sevens, and then D7 flat 9, also known as E flat diminished, and then this beautiful G add 9, and then this A flat major 9 and G major 9. In those days, Ted wrote the major 9 by writing a 9 with a slash through it. He changed later on to triangles, became the convention. It was confusing, I think, and he realized it, so he changed. So there's the first 8. Here's the second 8. It's very much like the first 8, and many of the pairs of chords have been reversed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, that's just this one. Okay, that little tag at the end. Okay, very, very cute. Now the voice leading on these guys is great, and I'll go through that 8 bars again. So we have the C6s, but they're in reverse order. The C minor 6s, as before, also reversed. This G6, and then here we have a new voicing, like A minor 7 with an 11 in it, and then another double stop tip voicing, and then this one that I screwed up earlier, beautiful sus4, and then a little. Now the bridge is coming, and it has a new twist. Some of the chords are only 1 beat each, and so I'll try. I'm going to count out loud so you can hear it. I'll do my best anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, here's the pitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Where'd we go? And then quickly. Okay. I lost my place there for a second. Let me try and play that again without any counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's happening on the bridge. We go to the 1 dominant chord, and the melody goes. Etc. And he does a clever thing where he does some approach from above on the half steps. A lot of these 1 beat per chord situations are a similar type of a chord moving down by a half step. So we have 2, and then here's A flat 7 moving to G13 with a beautiful contrary motion. Then we have E9, and then another F9 to E13 with contrary motion. These chords are a real bear. They're harder on that set than they are on the top set. And then a little half step there. Okay. And the last 8 bars are very nice. We're back on the 4 chord again. interesting. I play it. If you plant the third finger on the G note and you play, and then everybody moves but that note, and then everybody moves again. Okay. All right, moment of truth now. I'm going to try and play it all the way through. I'm going to play it in a way that I might comp if I was playing in a band. So I'm not going to just play the chords and let them ring. I'm going to try and play a little syncopation. Let's see how that goes. Let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I made it. So that's my interpretation of that page. Now, the other page, which is called Moonglow Comping on the middle 4 strings, has almost exactly the same voicings, only they're all played on the middle. So they climb up, and there's a lot more movement along the way. In order to keep this video kind of compact and not 25 minutes long, I decided just to do the one page. If you're interested, get both pages and compare them and really make sure you've got a good sense of how these voicings work. A couple of things you can try. If you've got a play along or a looper or iReal book, program these changes in with just a bass line and drums and see if you can use these changes to comp. And of course, after you've learned them, don't try and do that too soon or it'll just turn into alphabet soup. So anyway, this is the Moonglow comping lesson from Ted Greene. And please go to tedgreene.com and support the work that's being done there and join the community. If you find that these lessons are helpful, you can leave a donation at tedgreene.com. If you want to help me continue doing this work, you can also leave a donation at my website, timlerch.com. And I'll see you in the forums and on Facebook and whatnot. Take care.